I'm Leah Birdsong, and today I will be reading you Sofia the First, The Floating Palace, and this is written by Catherine Hapka. So before we get started by looking at the cover of the book, we can ask, who is Sofia? You would think that it would be her right here on the cover, right? Also, she mentions about a floating palace. Based off the cover, we can probably think that it could be, oopsie, that guy right there. And lastly, if you can tell by the setting of it, you have to wonder what events might be taking place here. All right, let's get started. All right. I'm Sophia, and I love being a princess. For our summer vacation, my family is visiting Maraway Cove on our boat. It's so big, it's more like a floating palace. Lately, I've been reading about mermaids. Maybe we'll see one at the cove. I hope so, but Dad says mermaids aren't real. So based off our first page, we can tell that the floating palace she's talking about was the boat. Was the boat that we saw on the cover right here. My dad, King Roland, is usually right about most things, but he's wrong about mermaids, because when I go onto the deck of our floating palace, there she is, a real live mermaid. Help, the mermaid cries. Oh no, she's tangled in a net. Let me help you, I say. I pull her onto the boat and I help untangle her. Thank you, she says. Her name is Una. She is really nice, but then she says she has to go. We're not supposed to spend time above the water, she explains, but when Una gets into the water, she can't swim. Her fin is hurt. As I slide into the water to help her, my amulet glows, and I turn into a mermaid. I can't believe it, and neither can Una. How did you do that? Una asks. I tell her about my magical amulet. Una has a comb that's enchanted too. I'm not sure what its powers are, says Una, but Mom says she'll tell me when I'm older. All right, so they mentioned something about an amulet. If you can tell that the necklace is right here, and it's not laying on her like a normal necklace would. It's kind of floating up. So I'm guessing that's the amulet that she's talking about. Also, she says that Una has one, which is a comb. So an amulet is some type of personal item that is giving to someone that has magical powers. I help Una swim towards her home. In the cove, we swim past a kelp forest, a cool sunken ship, and hundreds of beautiful fish. When we get near Una's home, I meet her friend, Seven the seahorse, and her big sister Cora. They use the moon kelp to heal Una's tail. That's sweet of them to help Una out. Suddenly, the water goes dark. It's our floating palace, stopping above us. Then we hear Una's mom calling her and Cora home. Una's mom is the mermaid queen. I'm so glad you're safe, she exclaims. A human vessel is in the cove and humans are dangerous. But I'm not dangerous and neither is my family. Queen Emmeline doesn't know that though. Uh-oh, here comes trouble. And she wants to use her magic trident to create a powerful storm, one that could blow the floating palace out of the cove or maybe even sink it. My family is on that ship, so I tell the queen that I'm a human and I can get the ship to leave. Please don't sink it, just give me a chance, I say. Luckily, the queen agrees to let me try. Una and Cora wish me luck. So what do y'all think? Y'all think Sophia's going to be able to not let the queen sink her parents' ship? I don't know. We gotta see. swimming back to the floating palace. Suddenly, I hear Una calling my name. Oh no, a horrible, hideous sea monster is chasing her. He wants her enchanted comb. I swim after them as fast as I can, but then they enter the kelp forest. Una, I cry. There's no answer. Oh no. Now Una's in trouble again. I rush back to tell Queen Emmeline what happened, and she tells me I have till sundown to rescue Una. Then the queen says if I can't, she'll sink the floating palace. I swim back to the floating palace. I need help, but my family doesn't believe in mermaids. So I gather some friends who do believe, seven Clover and a seagull named Farley. Finally, we find Una. The sea monster has her trapped and he's about to steal her enchanted comb. I try to stop him, but he's very powerful. He almost captures me too. Oh no! Queen Emmeline's starting loud thunder over the cove. I need to rescue Una before her mom sinks my family ship. I don't know what to do. Uh, your necklace is glowing, Seven tells me. Ooh, her necklace is getting magical. Let's see what happens next. Oh my god. When we dive underwater, Princess Ariel appears. My amulet brought her to help. So I tell Ariel about Una. I tried to save her, but you need more help, Ariel says. She tells me that humans and mermaids both love their families, and if we just work together, now I know what to do. Seven and I find Cora and tell her about the sea monsters. He's after Una's comb, I explain. The only way to save her is for us to work together. So Cora and I come up with a plan. Seven, Farley, and Clover help too. I have to sneak onto the boat where the sea monster has Una trapped. I get there just as he's about to cast a spell to grab Una's comb, but I had snatched it right out of his hand. Give me that comb and I'll let your mermaid friend go, the sea monster says. What if I don't? I say. Then I'll cast a spell on you and make you disappear. I stepped in front of Una's cage, then I tossed the comb overboard where Cora is waiting to catch it. No, you don't, the sea monster howls. He flicks his wand at me, but I jump out of the way. Instead of making me disappear, he makes Una's cage vanish. So vanish and disappear are basically the same word. Una is free, but the sea monster is furious. He points his wand at us. You won't trick me again, he warns. Suddenly, Farley flies over the sea monster and drops Clover right on top of him. Then Farley swoops down and grabs his wand. Cora holds up the comb as it starts to glow. Water rises at my command, she cries. Then the spiral of water blasts the sea monster across the cove. We rush back to Queen Emmeline. Thank goodness you're safe, the queen cries. She raises her trident to stop the storm. Whew, now my family is safe too. Una's family and I go back to the floating palace. We can't wait for our two families to meet. Dad admits he never thought mermaids were real, but now he knows. I sit with Una and watch the sunset. She's a mermaid and I'm a human, but I know we'll be friends forever. The end. That was so great. I love Ariel and I was so happy that she was able to come. While we are at the end of the book, we need to reflect on how Sophia did such a good job by protecting her family. She stood up for what was right. Also, she believed in mermaids even though nobody else did. So when you believe in something, you need to keep believing and never give up. And lastly, even though Una was a mermaid and Sophia was a human, they were completely different, but they were the same. So even though that somebody is different than you should always remember to be kind and to always be friends. So I hope y'all enjoy this book. I know I did. Thanks.